The KNC Groundworks Scottish Rally Championship switches from the gravel to the tarmac for round 3 of the 2022 season. The Beatsons Jim Clark Reivers Rally. Over 100 crews would take the start. Most of the big names in the SRC were in attendance, all chasing the 5-times champion David Bogie.
And away we go. Nice big round of applause from a very knowledgeable fan base here.
Yeah, the confidence has grown. Saturday and Friday night were just like a bit of a stepping stone for us, just trying to get used to the grip levels that you have and stuff like that. So I'm feeling pretty good, but it's a different day today. It's a lot cooler, so I don't know whether the grip levels will disappear or what, but yeah, definitely feeling a lot more confident than what I was at the start of the weekend.
We were rallying in France last weekend,
yes.
So how will that compare to today in the Clark?
Well, it was certainly warmer than it is here, I can assure you. Yeah, it's very different. It was a fantastic experience. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a privilege, actually. It really was to be able to drive some of those stages. So, but we're really looking forward to this, actually. It's been a long, long time, as we all know, and the Jim Clark's always been a special weekend, so really looking forward to it.
It's okay. I've not done anything special to do a lot of testing. Just kind of got it back last week, so put some new suspension on it, put it down to the right height. It looks good, so if you look good, you feel good, that'll be fine.
The car feels great, to be honest, and it's just brand new again on the tar, so today we're just not going to put any pressure on ourselves, a bit like the space side, and hopefully get to the end of it and learn. The car needs work, I need work, so we'll just see how the day goes.
Looking forward to it. Had a good wee test, the shakedown, so pretty good, yeah.
3 stages would make up the opening loop. The weather cold, but warming up as the day went on. And it was the Mini that would lead the SRC. With John Rowan back in the hot seat, David was sampling the WRC car on tar for the first time. It wasn't an overly spectacular morning by his standards, plus the constant fueling issues reared their head once again in SS3. Fastest SRC crew in Stage 1, Rory Young and Alan Cathers were back with a bang. Stages 2 and 3 weren't quite as smooth, Rory adjusting back to the Scottish roads after the French tarmac. The Fiesta arriving at service just 2 seconds behind the Mini.
Right 2 in, C120. Right 1 in over flat crest, into left 1 over tip, opens over flat crest, 80 right 6. 70.
Defying the newer machinery once again, Michael Binney and Claire Moe were third early on. A neat and tidy morning was exactly what the Evo crew needed for their championship campaign.
Left 4, long right 3 in, over 40, into left 2, and keep right over crest, okay. Long left 3 over 50, over bump 70. Small crest and right 1, no, cut 60, turn right 9. 50. Long flat crest, 100 down, shiny, right in. Right
9 seconds down on the Evo, Mark McCulloch and Michael Hendry were trying the Satria out on tar for the first time. Despite feeling they were being very cautious, the times were good straight out of the box, and they had just 3 seconds on the Polo R5 of John Stone and Laura Connell. The excitement started early for Jock Armstrong and Cammy Fair.
To crest, immediate double chicane left entry.
They brakes, coming, they brakes. They brakes, they brakes.
Okay.
Run out of brakes.
Crest and small crest, 100, small crest.
Losing the brakes on stage 1 while flat in 6th wasn't ideal, and the front bumper shows the aftermath. The brakes were sorted for the next 2 stages, and the Impreza was only 3 seconds down on the Polo. 7th at the midway service, John Wink and Neil Shanks had been held up on SS1 when they stopped to check on another competitor's accident. SS2 and 3 went well, and John was happy with how the I-20 was handling the tarmac. Just over 2 seconds down on the I-20, Scott Macbeth and Dan Forsyth weren't overly happy with their morning loop. The Reivers stages not suiting Scott's driving style quite as much, as the stages on the national event. 20 seconds down on the Evo, Bruce McCombie and Michael Coutts were debuting the Focus on tarmac. Despite Bruce feeling rusty and the brakes wilting a bit, it was going okay, and they were just 0.3 of a second ahead of the Albin Garage Challengers leader Angus Laurie and Paul Gribben. Angus, still learning about the new car, was also battling fading brakes. A change of driving style was being considered for the afternoon.
Left 5 over gravel, 100, right 4, and slow, right 2, turn right 9.
John Rintoul and Ross Hind were debuting their Mini in the SRC, John finding the gear change to be hard work on his shoulder and was strapped up in an aid to ease the pain. The WRC car just 2.1 seconds up on two-wheel drive leaders Greg McKnight and Harry Marchbank. The Honda-powered Mark II absolutely flying and sounding fantastic. The top 15 was rounded out by a fantastically close three-way battle. John Morrison and Peter Carstairs were 12th, just 0.5 of a second up on the new partnership of Bob Adamson and Will Atkins. The Rally 2 Fiesta in turn had only 0.1 of a second on the Impreza WRC of Barry Groundwater and Martin Forrest. Already missing from the leaderboard, Freddie Milne and Patrick Walsh's morning was a disaster. An electrical issue on the start line of stage 1 messing with Freddie's concentration, and they were off 3 times in about 2 miles. This third off putting them out. Also out, the telltale wisps of something behind the Fiesta spelled the end for Hugh Brunton and Drew Sturrock. On board an SS1 with Chris Colley and Ricky Finlayson.
100 to right 4. Well done, Chris. Right 4 and caution slow, right 2.
We've had one warning already, and a few miles further on things are about to go horribly wrong.
And right 1 into crest jump and to dip 40. Yeah, I'm fine. Are you? Yeah.
In the replay, you can see how the car gets unhappy on one of the small jumps, and then the crew are passengers. Thankfully, they were both sore, but unhurt.
Yeah, it's been a good morning, to be honest. Obviously not used to the car and got up to speed with things pretty quickly, so no, very happy. We had a problem with a fuel surge again, unfortunately, in the third stage there, so it's the same problem as we had in the Space side, so hopefully that keeps away for the rest of the day and we can enjoy it.
Interesting, to be perfectly honest. It was just difficult getting heat in the tyres, to be honest, with such short road sections. So the first stage was quite hard to get going, and there's a lot of loose material on the roads. The council have been doing a great job fixing the potholes, but the day before a rally with all the loose chips is not ideal. So we've just struggled a wee bit with confidence, but the car's great, we're using soft tyres, so it seems to be working all right, but we don't feel as if we've had a clean run yet, and our stage has always just been a few wee niggles. But
it's going good, yeah. I think we'll be third with David, Rory and myself, but it's going really well. Yeah, we've all found the stages today a lot looser than yesterday's stages. Well, those that were competing yesterday, they've re-chipped quite a lot, so you need to really watch them. But yeah, we're going well, really enjoying it, and car so far is going good, and everything's well. Yeah.
First stage we were really steady, obviously, because we kind of just feeling our way in and we got going, and then second stage I completely lost my confidence, and our time was still okay, but we could go quicker. Third stage was just awesome. Absolutely brilliant, so we'll try and do what we did in the third stage for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it was going fine, and then got about 4 miles into first stage and came up to the chicane flat in 6th and had no brakes, so wiped the chicane out. Been given 20 quid from every driver behind us for get the faster time, but yeah, apart from that it was better. Managed to get the brakes sorted for stage 2 and 3. Had a bit of a push on, but yeah, just kind of learning the car and tarmac. It's the first time Jocks drove that car on tar, I think. But yeah, I've not done any testing before it, so yeah, just kind of getting around. But yeah, no, it's going okay.
You'll remember Ian Forgan and Chris Leesy's big accident on the Snowman that left Ian with broken legs. Well, 12 weeks on and he was at the Clark managing the service area. We caught up with him to see how his recovery was going.
So, Ian, it's absolutely brilliant to see you here as service manager for the Jim Clark. Do you want to just give us a little bit of update? Because I know a lot of people will be really interested to see how you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's great to be here. Nice to be standing up again after sitting on my backside for 8 weeks. So yeah, about 12 weeks since my accident. And yeah, my legs are screwed together, pinned together and working again. So yeah, I'm happy. Got an operation to get on my knee in about 3 months' time. But yeah, things are working as they should be. And back to normal, back rallying sometime soon, hopefully.
So that's your goal, is to get back in a car and get back out in the stages?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, why wouldn't you? You know, it was just a silly accident. You know, it can happen to anyone. It was just unlucky, and you know, I've been rallying for a long time. It's the first time I've ever been injured from driving the car. I've certainly injured myself plenty of times working on the car, but the first time actually driving the car. So, you know, not let that put me off the sport.
Before the final loop, let's take a look at the action in the various classes. Reigning C2 champions Brian and Scott Gourley were making their first start of the season. The 205 experiencing fuel pump issues and cutting out before they even got to the Duns start. Scott wired up a fix to the fuse box and they were underway. This off into a hedge later in the day was another setback, but they survived to take third in class. Also enduring a tough day, Callum McDougall and Tommy Logan battled inconsistent brakes all day in their Saxo. A bit of work in service made it better for the afternoon, and they took second in class. But taking both the win and the points lead, Nikki Addison and Rachel Matheson suffered an early overshoot, and Rachel being unwell in the road sections. But apart from that, ran very strongly. Nikki also taking third in the ladies category and the Clubman Performance Award. Alan and Sam Smith were flying in their Civic.
Right to middle of a crest. 350. Nice stuff. Short right 4, don't cut, 200 up. 200 up.
Until it all went quiet in SS5.
Watch, I'll be tightening it down here.
Oh, someone's gone. Gearbox is gone.
Alan was rewarded the Hard Charging Hard Luck Award for his efforts. Alistair Brearley had reinstalled Jerry Bryden in the hot seat for his local event. Having not been out on the tar for years, Alistair was learning all the time and took second in class despite a few mistakes. 51st overall and first in class, Graham Sherry and Ewan Lees had performed emergency repairs after retiring from the National with a spectacular diff explosion. The Sunday was going well until an argument with a lamppost rearranged the back end of the Manta.
Crest 40, turn 9 right. 9 right, 9 right.
But thankfully the damage was mostly cosmetic and they were awarded with the Clubman Spirit Award after an excellent effort all weekend.
2 left and turn hairpin right. 2 left and hairpin right. And short fast 6 right. Short fast 6 right. 60 down. Fast 6 right again. 100. 6 left. Up. Don't cut.
Sandy and Ian Arbuthnot would unfortunately retire with mechanical problems on the first loop. But taking the class and the 5-star Subaru Cup win, Mike Motes and Gary McDonald struggled in the morning, losing the brakes in SS1. They nursed it to service and were able to get some brakes back. Keen not to lose them again, they made sure of a finish with a steady drive.
And 4 right again. and 2 right, followed by 4 left, 200 rough, woof, crashed on 550 and crashed 130. Thanks, lad, boss, walk, jam, nitty gritty. You're listening to the boy from the big bad city. This is jam hot. This is jam hot.
with a bit of singing along the way. Bouncing back after their Speyside retirement, Davy McLeod and Eamon Boyle were happy with a clean run in the Sunbeam's first tarmac event. Lacking a bit of power for the fast bits, they took second in class at the finish. And taking both the class and top historic, Stuart Eggleston and Brian Hodgson were another crew feeling they needed some more power on the quick sections. But they were happy to take the Scottish historic win ahead of Escort legend Steve Bannister. Ernie Lee's driving on the first loop had not impressed co-driver Patricia. It had included a time-consuming spin and getting caught by another competitor. The afternoon did include another spin, but Patricia was happier. The BMW taking second in class. First in class and taking the Haddo Energy Super Seniors win, Steve Bannister and Callum Atkinson were happy with their day's work. Steve learning a lot about the tarmac Escort and enjoying his day out.
Just a good day, really. You know, obviously when you've been through them once, you remember little bits, and so you're a bit quicker, and it was really good. Last 3 stages, really enjoyed them, you know, so yeah, and we got quicker and quicker, so that's what it's all about. But the enjoyment was great today. Stages were good, you know, the weather's been good, so what more can you want?
Justin Gunning and Keir Beaton would retire in SS1. We'll let Justin tell the story.
Just going into stage 1 was absolutely buzzing, looking forward to the day. I think it was just a bit too much sauce for the get-go. I should have known better, but it's happened now, so.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying the stages were really loose. Do you think that had anything to do, or just...
No, it was a mix of cold tyres, cold brakes, and probably too much adrenaline, to be honest with you. Just pushing on too much, too early, but that is what it is.
500 through the dips. So, sorry. 500 through the dips. Should have repeated that. Care, right 4. So it's a care, right 4, left 2, and right 4. Opens to right 2.
With her regular driver missing at the Reivers, Claire McKenzie had found a seat in Fraser Smith's fantastic sounding Civic. Absolutely singing along, the engine would sadly let go in SS3. Ashley Morris and Martin Haggett had been running well, battling Nikki Addison and Megan O'Kane for second in the ladies' contest. But that all went pear-shaped with a time-consuming puncture in SS4, dropping them 22 places overall. They made it to the finish, 4th in class and 91st overall. 3rd in class and 2nd in the ladies, Megan O'Kane was pretty happy at the finish, despite feeling that the new engine wasn't as pokey as the one that had got damaged on the Speyside. This result leaves her and co-driver John 3rd in the class points. Second in class and top Moats Offshore Junior, despite an off, it was another good day for Robert Proudlock in his Adam. Robert really impressed with new co-driver Lewis McDougall and really enjoying the closed road experience.
From the start, obviously, we had a few problems knocking the back bumper off, losing a couple of seconds. And then the second stage, we made another mistake, but from that point on, it's only got better. Thoroughly enjoyed the day again. Definitely be back to some closed road public rallies. Like, it's really what rallying's all about, I'd say.
Into left 8 in. Into left 3 in, 50. Small crest, 100 down. Left 4 in, 100. Right 3 in over bumps, 80 up. Right 1, 100. Left 1, 200. Keep left into care, right 3 in. 150, right 9. So your right 3 here, 150, right 9. Well done.
After an ordeal scouring the nation for the correct pistons before the event, Keith and Mary Riddick were happy just to see the start. Severe issues with the brakes in the morning loop was an uncomfortable situation to deal with, but thankfully things improved in the afternoon. Keith and Mary delighted to finally see the finish of an event after a horrible start to the season. Enjoying the switch to the tarmac, John Crawford and Josh Davidson were running well in the morning. Unfortunately, they would fall off the road into retirement in SS4.
Good, enjoying it. But Davey, I was saying to the boys, Davey's not a co-driver today, he's a tour guide. I'm getting a whole tour of it.
His home county.
Oh, yeah. I know everywhere in Berwickshire here, everywhere. It's just wonderful. I know everybody's farm, everybody's castle, everything like that, you know.
Also enjoying the tar and co-driver David's local knowledge, Paddy Munro was running well until an argument with something solid damaged important suspension and driveline parts, putting them out. Jim McDowell and Heidi Woodcock's day had started poorly, with no intercom for the first 2 stages. That was sorted for SS3 and they were enjoying the tarmac. They would take first in the class points, and Jim would move to just 1 point behind Alistair Brearley in the Super Seniors. Having contested the National in his Evo, Gordon Murray and Phil Sandham's run in the Escort wasn't as smooth. Second gear started to give problems in the morning stages, and they would end the event without a clutch. Chris Lees had found a seat in Brian Watson's Mark II for the Reivers. They were running really well, mixing with the top 2-wheel drive times and catching cars on their way to 34th overall. Oren McDonnell and Johan Anderson had started the event knowing there were turbo issues with the new engine that meant they couldn't claim points. Regardless, the car ran well and they enjoyed the extended test session. The new turbo is already sorted for the next round.
So about your morning, what adventures happened?
Nothing. We've actually stayed on the black stuff. No incidents. A lot of shouting. Yeah, there's a lot of shouting and stabbing me with a pencil, but that happens all the time anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, a few disco lights flashing on the dash, but we don't care. We're going to get to the end regardless.
Having never done any tarmac before, Jan Budge and Bruce Lindsay were determined just to finish. A few small issues along the way were minor inconveniences, on their way to 66th overall. With championship sponsor Kevin Crawford on holiday at the Monaco Grand Prix, Andrew Stevenson had found a seat next to Ross Chalmers in his Impreza. Thoroughly enjoying the day, particularly the banter with Mike Motes and Gary McDonald, they took 41st overall. Reunited with Sinclair Young, Ian Baumgart would take 30th overall. It was a typical neat and tidy performance from the Impreza crew, staying on the road while others fell off. After enjoying the 2 days of the National, Michael Renton and John Shepherd's Impreza decided to let them down on the day that points were at stake. The trail of smoke following the car, telling the story. '56th overall and first in the ladies' battle, Aileen and John Forrest really enjoyed the border stages in the Evo. Aileen starting to really get comfortable in the car and on the tarmac. Her impressive drive gaining her the John Horton Star Drive nomination, and she also takes a 7-point lead in the ladies' championship battle.
Often a nervous start because I didn't know what to expect, but loved every minute of it, and this car is just amazing. She just sits like glue on the tar and you whirl it round and it's just amazing.
We'll let Willie Patterson tell you about his morning.
Well, we've had a bit of a morning. We went off in the first left 5 in the first stage, cold tyres, absolutely driver's fault, but we got away with it. And then on the second stage we arrived at the really tight bridge at Fogo at Ayton, and it was just slippy and I just couldn't get stopped in time, so we went off and hit the bridge. But thankfully, not too much damage. And then we had 2 punctures, one in the road section, or just as we were coming out at the stage, which we changed, and then another one just at the end of the second stage. So thankfully we had 2 tyres, so that was good.
37th after all that, Willie and Tom Hind would climb back up to 31st overall by the finish, and second in the Challengers. Richard Stewart had Mark Roberts in the hot seat for this event. There were a few moments in the morning, but they survived to take second in class and 60th overall. After an excellent performance on the National, Peter Stewart and Dave Robson were another crew to do their best work when points weren't on the line. Not driving his best, Peter was suffering the wrath of Dave's sharp pencil. Despite the issues, they still took second in the Autoshop two-wheel drive ranks. Unfortunately, SS5 would spell the end for Rory Young and Alan Cathers. On board the McCulloch Proton, we passed the stricken Fiesta early in the stage. A shame after such a good start. Donnie MacDonald and Andrew Faulkner had another day to forget in the Fiesta. An off in 2 and an argument with a bird in 3 set the tone. 101st after the first loop, they climbed back up to 84th by the finish. Stewart and Mark Irvin battled some brake issues in the morning, but the real problems were in 5 and 6. 2 damaged wheels and a costly spin and stall left the Accent WRC 47th overall at the finish. And after their good start, McCombie and Coots's day was ruined with power steering problems on the second loop, the Focus dropping to 32nd by the end of the day. 15th in the SRC at the finish, Michael Cruikshank had installed himself in the navigator's seat of Ian Patterson's Impreza. The blue car running well and ending up just 12 seconds down on Scott McCombie and Murray Strachan's Evo at the end of the day. Dropping to 13th by the end, John Morrison and Peter Carstairs were perhaps conscious that the engine in the car wasn't actually theirs. They ended up 25 seconds behind Groundwater and Forrest's WRC Impreza. Topping the two-wheel drives and giving Harry maximum points, Greg McKnight and Harry Marchbank were very happy at the end of the event, both with the result and with annoying Peter Stewart. With the Escort crew planning on doing Argyll, the 208 driver will be keen to get revenge.
Really enjoyed it. Stages have been brilliant, weather's been good, so team's done well to keep the car going. Really chuffed.
Yeah, it's a good partnership in the car that obviously worked really well today.
Yeah, Harry's brilliant. Yep. Can't thank him enough for keeping me on the road.
Flat 6 left, 130, flat crest, left over 250, a slow 5 right into turn, long open 2 left, don't cut.
Tenth in the SRC was an excellent result for Bob Adamson and Will Atkins on their first event as a team. Only 4 seconds behind John Rantoul and Ross Hines Mini. Angus Laurie and Paul Gribben would take 8th and the top spot in the Albine Garage Challengers. Definitely more to come from Angus as he continues to learn the car.
All new learning, but very enjoyable day out. Built on things as the day went on, had a good run through the last stage there, so very happy.
Yeah, so it's been a successful weekend with, great partnership together. So you're looking forward to Argyll?
Yeah, definitely. Argyll next, so yeah. Back to the workshop, get a re-prep, get some work done, make some money and go rallying again. Happy days.
8 seconds would cover the next 3 places. Jock Armstrong and Cammy Fair's difficult day continued in the afternoon, falling to 7th by the finish. The Impreza just behind Wink and Shanks. The I-20 crew very happy with the car, despite not having a full tarmac setup. Macbeth and Forsyth would take 5th at the finish, just 3.1 seconds up on the I-20. There was a small scare on the final stage with an electronics issue, but the Evo survived to take another solid finish. Laura Connell would take 4th in the Navigator standings, alongside John Stone in the Polo R5. Absolutely delighted at the finish, McCulloch and Hendry's home-engineered Proton ran fantastically all day. The hard work over the winter already paying off for Mark and showing that that there's plenty of scope for development in the future.
There you go, go in Mark, in there.
To come here and get third in the championship today and against all these guys, it's just class. I'm so happy.
Yeah, so you've learned a lot about the car, so this will be great going into Argyll.
Definitely, yeah. There's loads of things we can improve on as well, and with myself driving in Tara, I don't do it very often, although I really enjoy it, and we'll get the car as good as we can for Argyll as well, so no, I can't wait. It really is. It's making it all the hard work that we've done over the winter worthwhile now.
Doing everything that could be asked of them in their Evo, including hurting Claire's back, Michael Binney and Claire Mole were very happy at the end of their home event. This result keeps Claire in the co-driver's lead, and Michael well in the hunt in second.
Into left 7. Into left 3 in. 50. Small flat crest, 100 down. Left 4, 100.
It's just been absolutely awesome from start to finish the whole weekend. We just used Friday, Saturday as a good stepping stone for ourselves, and got used to braking and cornering and stuff. And today there wasn't much left out there, so everything's worked so well, and just so happy with the result. Yeah.
Brilliant. Claire, is this your best result on the Clark?
Now you're putting us on the spot. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, definitely the fastest one I've had on the Clark as well. Yeah.
Despite damaging a wheel and losing a side window mid-stage, Bogey and Rowan did enough to take second overall in the rally and maximum SRC points. David enjoying his first experience of the Mini on tarmac. And the big question is whether or not we'll see the Escort in Argyll.
A few issues along the way, but learning the car and fantastic stages, and it was really good.
Yeah, so good to be back with John, get the partnership back again, another winning combination.
Yeah, absolutely. He jumped straight back into the car and he was bang up to speed straight away. So really good day. I enjoy driving the Mini and tarmac, and that's what it's all about.
In taking the overall win but not claiming SRC points, 3 times champions Ewan Thorburn and Paul Beaton were making a comeback to rallying after a couple of years away. The Focus pilot, a popular winner in his hometown of Duns. So Bogey takes a second win of the year and moves into the sole points lead. And for the next event, the tarmac lanes narrow up as the SRC Circus heads to Argyll for the Dunoon Presents Argyll Rally.